things up here for the last couple of days of February and get into this week's trading. First things first, when it says risk and trading, please and always use trade capital only. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Whether trading stocks, options, futures, forex, cryptos, you know the risks. If you're following me on social media, make sure it's a real me. Mondays and Fridays for the Pulver Report, youtube.com/Chris Pulver. Verified account on Twitter, Real Chris Pulver. Instagram, Real Chris Pulver. And just make sure that it's me. No misspellings, no underscores, no numbers, stuff like that. I won't message you directly. I'll reply, but that's on you first. Okay, let's get into the charts. Taking a look at the currency strength chart this morning. Pound is on the upside. We have Aussie Kiwi a little bit softer, dollar softer. I just had some chart alarms going off this morning. The Q is at 295, so we're looking for a little bit of a push higher. The SPY back up towards 400. New Zealand CAD pushing a little bit lower towards the yearly pivot. It's a trade we took last week in the flex room. This is silver, euro, Aussie alerts overnight. So let's have a look at everything. Jump into the charts. Take a look. I think we have a gap to the upside. We had some good trades last week that worked out pretty nicely. This is the dollar yen. Let's go to the SPY. So big gap to the upside on the SPY. We gapped all the way up here towards 399. Let's go to the daily. All right. So again, the last couple weeks, so once we started to break lower, we're seeing a lot of gaps. So we had a big flush to the downside, gap lower, couldn't quite fill the gap, big gap lower, bearish candle, and we ended up having a low last week around 393 on the SPY. Let me get this out of the way. And we're back up towards 399. So interesting spot. Are we using the monthly pivot for a support level? Thing that continues to stay kind of indecisive. If the bears can't really break and hold below 400, we might have something like this playing out. It's kind of tough to tell technically, but maybe something like this, where this channel could be holding. Okay, so if I were to kind of make that parallel, that would be the case. So what's interesting, I keep going back. This blue line up here is a 12-month checkpoint, which is for the 12 months or the year after the Fed started raising rates. So they started raising rates in 2022. And we're going to see how the market responds to that. So over the last 50 years, every time we've had a rate hike cycle, the first year out, the market's been up about 7%. That 7% is the blue line. I think that's a massive bullish run right there in order to get the bulls back up to 455. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think we're in the ending cycle of earnings season for this first quarter. And anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, watching this low to this low, the market is kind of responding to that. But again, if we close lower, bear momentum, I don't know how much lower we go. Do we take out this low? Do we challenge that low? Quite possibly. Or do we use the backside of this larger channel, which this was resistance, and now this becomes support? So anyway, the bears have to keep the pressure on below 400 on the SPY. If we see a strong close back above 400, I'd say 405 or so. Back above 405, we're probably heading back up towards this 410, 415 zone, and the market continues to show us some indecision. Okay, there may be not much to get in the way of movement, but we'll find out. So a good trade last week. We had a full credit on our bear call spread, the 400 by 401. We had full profit on the bear call spread. Oops. Full profit on the bear call spread on the Qs. That was a 295 by 296. So that trade is done. Ended up grabbing about 25 cents net on each of those. We also have this 310 expiration, a 301 by 302. And that's out to next Friday, not this Friday. And we go out to May as well. So we've taken some stabs at the Qs. We've taken stabs at the SPY. And we're going to see how that shapes up here in the next few weeks and out for the next couple of months. Let me log into YouTube, say hi to everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we go. All right, Gary's in the house. Moshe's here. Chris, good morning. Ruth Ann, good morning. Ranjit, good morning. David, good morning. What's up, Roland? How are you? Okay. All good, all good. All right, good morning, everybody. Okay, and good morning. How are you? Okay, so Qs and the SPY. We'll be talking about that today. The VIX off the lows at 20. We're going to see if we keep kind of bouncing off these levels. We've settled in around 20 to 18. So possibly even a VIX trade, a 20 by 19 or 20 by 18, maybe a 19 by 18, something like that to grab a few bucks, a few pops off these levels. Anyway, but I think this is a good spot to start looking for some long. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of volatility, but this level seems to be settling nicely. These highs haven't been touched anytime soon. So if you're looking for some volatility, I think VIX lows are pretty good. Dollar weakness, we're starting to see it a little bit today. DXY, we're sitting at 104.86. Had some good profit last week. Euro dollar, we're pulling back. I'm looking to still stay short on the euro dollar. We did come down towards the yearly pivot. We came down towards this low. This could actually be a really good pattern right here. We could have a left shoulder, head to neckline, right shoulder, and then have the euro dollar push down a little bit lower. Again, that would be more risk-off trading, but euro's on a pullback a little bit. That's fine. I think a pullback, if we see something bullish on the pullback, we're probably pulling back towards this area. That's around 107 to 108, and then from there, I would be looking to short the euro dollar again to the downside. So that is my plan there. Aussie dollar, we had some nice profits still running. We're at some fresh lows. I like Aussie dollar taking some profit anywhere around 67. I think we had some lows today. Low today is 66.98. So I'm good closing that trade out for profit. In fact, I can do that right now. I think I'm going to do it on my phone. Let me take a look at our positions. So we have some pretty good profits running. Aussie dollar, euro dollar. Aussie CAD's up 224 pips. That's at 91.22. I said anything below 9100. We're up 262 pips on the Aussie dollar. Euro Swiss is up above 99, so we're up 172 pips on that one. Pound Swiss is up, and we just got entered in on the New Zealand CAD at 83.55. So I think Aussie CAD, let me check here. I've got some good positions on Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD. Continuing to push lower. I like this area. This level, probably a pullback towards that pocket and weekly pivot. I'm going to go ahead and take profit on that Aussie CAD right now. So that's 223 pips. I'll close that. So that's closed for 223. Aussie dollar's up 262. I'm going to close that. And euro dollar is up. We're at 105.82. That's up about 220 pips. So I'm going to close that. So that is euro dollar plus 220. Aussie CAD plus, let me check that. Activity. That was from 90. What did we get in here? Let me check that. 267. Let's see. It doesn't give me, I just had it a second ago. Let's see. Let me check my short positions. So Aussie CAD and Aussie dollar. So let me check those positions. Aussie CAD, we shorted it 93.70. So 93.70, 93.70, and 91.23, 247 pips. It was 252, I think, when I closed it. So 252. And then Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, we shorted it right here around 69.80. 6980 minus current price 6718. 262 pips. Okay. So I want to track that. That's a nice little chunk to start off the week. Been waiting for those for we've been in those the last couple weeks. Let me go new flex. Peter, yes, I still like Dollar Sing. I like Dollar Sing a lot. So I'm just gonna hold. I'm holding that one towards the yearly pivot. Okay, so New Zealand CAD, Aussie New Zealand, Euro Dollar. Look to close that one down. So that's done. Closed and protected. And Euro Dollar's 220. 220 pips. Aussie dollar, that's closed and protected. Aussie dollar 262. And, oops, wrong one. And then Aussie CAD closing and protecting, that's 252. Closed and protected. There we go. So closing them up, grabbing some pips. So far, going into about 2 months of trading this year, up 6,500 pips, not a bad start. So if we do that times 6, all right, that'll get us out to the end of the year. That'd put us up about 30 to 35,000 pips. I'd certainly be happy with that for the year. We'll keep grinding. Okay, good stuff. So protected on Euro dollar, Aussie CAD, Aussie dollar. I'm still going to hold dollar sing long. So a pullback is totally fine. In fact, it's welcome because a pullback towards this pivot are fine. If we have a low to high swing, pull back in here looking for a higher low, and I'm still looking for a push into that center pivot. So this area, still looking for profit on the dollar sing. I'm going to hold it and continue to buy more. Okay, very good. David closed position for 623. Awesome stuff. Let's see. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so dollar sing I'm going to continue to hold. Euro dollar, I'm okay taking some profit on that one, like I said. I'm going to close that bad boy down. Let me just log into my MT4. I closed it out on my phone on one account. I'm going to close that on another, on MT4. But dollar sing I'm going to continue to hold. New Zealand CAD, this one we talked about last week. This one got filled. So we're buying the 83.55. We have a 200 EMA on the daily. We have 83.55 yearly pivot. That was an entry that got filled. I'm looking for this. So this area, that's trade 1, the 5.0, the 618. I'm scaling in to this New Zealand CAD. I'm looking to see either 1, if we have a channel to the upside, okay, or 2, we come back and retest the high around 87 to 8,800. 88 is really the high. So if we go all the way back to 88, I'm taking profit. If we have a channel where it just pops up here, hits this resistance, comes back down, I might just buy again and wait for this to be a correction because this is the bigger swing. So this could be our bigger push. This could be our correction. And when it's done, I think we're going to retest the high at least. So I'm going to hold tight on New Zealand CAD. Plus, it's a positive swap trade. All right. Let me get rid of that. Open this up. Good on that. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple other metrics. U.S. oil. We're trading at 75.31. Super quiet on oil, honestly. Chart alarm set around 70. Potential support around 65. Breakout to the upside above 85. Let's log me into MT4. Let me get into Euro dollar here for a second. Close out this position. Come on, charts. There we go. Euro dollar. Close that bad boy down. And look to re-enter. Okay, that's good. All right, so oil just sitting tight, sitting quiet. Silver chart alarm went off at 20.5. We're dropping hard. Ooh, wow, we're dropping hard on silver. Okie dokie. So yeah, a couple of pivots right here on silver that I'll be watching. Possibly a trend line break, looking for some bullishness in here if we get it. Do we carve out these lows or are we using this? You know, I suppose silver could fall back to 20 by 19 or 20 by 1950. We might look at re-entering some more trades. We have some 18 by 17 credit spreads I think are still fine for good profit. I'm going to hang on to those. But silver chart alarm, gold. Oops. Gold is sitting at 1816. Not much going on from this side other than waiting for that. So if we chop around here, continue to melt down, you know, we have lots of support back here. A couple of big zones between 1750 and 1675. That'd be a big buy zone, in my opinion, on gold. If we start to break higher, just be careful. If we can look for active bullish patterns in here, then maybe we have a push coming. But we could have a bigger reset coming in gold too. Not quite sure. Let's take a look at copper. Copper had a pretty nasty week last week. So we had 3 strong days to the downside. There's a big outer trend line right here. Support, support. If we settle back in, copper settles between 375 and 350. If there's a chance for a dip. Otherwise, you know, maybe it's a little correction in here and some tighter price action. But I think we have room to find this low. Find this low, maybe some buying opportunities on copper. That could be a pullback on FCX as well. which is the stock that we focus on to trade it. So we did some 44 by 43s. We have these spaced out all the way to August, and on one of these, I mean, honestly, the March one, we'll just take a small loss. April, May, June, August. If we're down into this zone, then one of these we're looking to take assignment on. I certainly am. If we can take assignment below 30 bucks, I'd be pretty happy to hang on to copper. Okay. But if it's choppy, then we'll just give it some time, maybe take a loss in this March one, and then have some income generated from April to August. All right. What else we have going on here? I have some credit spreads. Take a look at some Tesla action. We're trading at 204 with a nice gap to the upside. I rolled it out another week. I collected another $6 or $7 on. I think I did a rolled covered call for 650 last week, and this has been pushed out to. I think my break even's 181 now, and I've got a 192.50. So I'm going to throw in another covered call, I think, to cover one more share, because last week it closed at 196 and at a 197.50. So anyway, we hang tough on Tesla. Looks good. I can excuse me, continue to roll this as well if I can get premiums for it. What else am I rolling? I rolled Uber. I got to add another cover call on Uber. I think I have a $33 cover call for this week. So if it gets called away, fine. My break even's around 29 bucks. Those are pretty big shares on both. I have 600 shares of Tesla, 2,600 shares of Uber, and DBB. That was a good stock last week that had some bullishness. Was that it? Maybe it was DBC. DBC. No, what the heck was it? Or was it DB? No, I thought it was DBB. No, that's not it. CTRA. It was something that was pushing bullish. Maybe that was it. Yeah, it was CTRA. Charlo went off at 25 last week. So we have some credit spreads, I believe, on CTRA, or this is one we can revisit. I like owning this one in the low 20s. So we'll be doing some work this week on options, stocks and options for equities on demand, and as always, grinding in Forex. Any charts you want me to take a look at this morning? Anything in particular? I'm going to look at some expirations, obviously, and see what I have brewing. So if I go to my notes here, I can just do a quick check for 3 expirations, and it shows I have 23. So this is, let me check this one. Where's that first one at? Okay, so Rivian 20 by 19. That's a 3-3 expiration. I haven't looked at Rivian in a couple weeks, but Rivian is trading at 17. Interesting. Is this something that we want to 20 by 19? It's 18 bucks. I'm probably willing just to take the loss in this one. In all honesty, if I was going to take ownership of Rivian, it's okay, like taking one share, but I think I did multiple contracts. So I'll be watching this one. I don't necessarily want to own it here. I suppose if it goes a little bit lower, maybe 10 bucks, there's potential squeeze on this one. But maybe not anytime soon. That's the tough part is I think if you're in, especially the tech sector right now, if you're in the tech sector, it's a company that doesn't make money, it's tough to consider it a hold. I was looking at Teladoc last week, TDOC. I mean, it's a company whose service is being used. I mean, major health providers, Florida Blue, United Health. I mean, Teladoc is a service that's being offered. Problem is they're not looking to make money for the next 2 to 3 years. They're not looking to be profitable. So is this the type of stock that I want to sit and hold? Not at current price, but if it gets down to maybe 10 bucks, I could allocate $1,000 to it and see if it becomes a $20, $30, $40 stock in the next 6 to 12 months. But anyway, I think it's going to be some bargain shopping on tech where it's not a lot of capital that I tie up, and try not to tie up a bunch of money on, potentially unprofitable stocks. Meanwhile, just try to grind and work out some good premiums elsewhere. But anyway, that's the plan. Pound Aussie, sure, we'll take a look at Pound Aussie. I have been, well, I suppose. So my plan on Pound Aussie was to buy it in this area here. I wanted to buy the Pound Aussie around 1.70. You can see that it didn't come that low. So what we might be dealing with on Pound Aussie is something like this. There's a lot of resistance up here around 1.82. I do like buying the dips right now to go back up to 1.8 or 1.82, but I would be looking for that to be a short position. So highs up here, lows down here. We had a bit of a false breakout, but I was looking for this to come back into this 1.7, 1.71 zone. It just didn't get low enough. So right now it seems like pound Aussie's more favored to the upside. And we talked about when this first pushed up, we had a bull flag. We talked about being long pound Aussie with those bull flags and taking it up towards those range highs. So that's what I'm looking at right now in pound Aussie. Halliburton, yep, HAL, it's right here. HAL is trading at 36.93. So energy plays, I think there's going to be a bit of a reset on energy. What's been interesting is watching oil go down and now sideways, and watching energy stocks essentially form lots of topping patterns. So this double top, or we could have a range here where Halliburton might be carving out some highs. I think we can kind of have some resets. So I'm not looking to get long energy necessarily right now. I think credit spreads are fine. But if we have a chance to revisit some of these, September, October lows from last year, that'd be great. But I think with oil as low as it is, there might be another pain slide to the downside. And if that's the case, then I think energy stocks will still revert and still top out a little bit. So I'm not necessarily jumping into oil, gas, energy right now. We've had some good profits. We watch these levels. There's still stocks I really like to own. There's tons of cash. But I think if they're topping out, then I don't want to buy them yet. XOM, I have some. I basically have a reverse Jade Lizard on this one, which is if we break above 125, it's profit. If we break below 105, it's profit. So I know that leaves a pretty big area in the middle, but any highs or any recent lows, that's a lot of profit. This is essentially $3.50 out of a $5 spread. So I'm looking to see if ExxonMobil will actually make some movement one way or the other. And that being said, I'm wondering, well, I don't want to do I could do a credit spread Jade Lizard where I do a bull put spread down here and a bear call spread right here and see if price stays inside this. The problem is it's not going to be a lot of premium to do that. This is out of the money. This is out of the money. But it would offset some of that loss I would take if I don't get these trades to work out through April. So anyway, good stuff on that pound Aussie. Yes, Halliburton, you get on that, Peter. And that's also, I mean, Schlumberger, SLB, that was a big energy play. We made a ton of profit on that last year. This one's trading at 53. I just think we have a lot of potential topping patterns. So if this is a rising wedge, sideways, maybe resetting a little bit, I just don't want to, essentially buy highs. So if we have more of a reversion on energy stocks, I think that's great. Those are profitable. We had a bunch of staggered credit spreads in that one. Nope, don't do that. Okay, and we're good on these as well. So that's done. Okay, anything else? I'll just take a few minutes, get things in order for equities on demand, wrap it up. We'll be back on Friday to wrap up the week. So just a couple of quick housekeeping announcements. So this week, busy week here for Market Traders Institute. We have the Mind Over Markets event. It's going to be all day, every day. We have Monday, Tuesday is a 2-day kickoff for the Mind Over Markets. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have VIP sessions. So it's going to be a busy week. I'll have my sessions every afternoon, I think at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then we have some roundtables and discussions with the entire team during those VIP days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If anybody's at Market Traders and interested in joining us this week, I'm sure there's still some spots available for online attendance, and you can just reach out to your educational specialist for that. And I think that is about it from that announcement side of things. Class per usual, business as usual, trading rooms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for Flex, Monday through Friday for equities on demand, Master Flex Friday afternoon, and that should do it. Okay, yep, Tesla we already talked about. Tesla's looking pretty good. Look, I like this area protecting profits. I mean, could Tesla run higher? Yeah, sure, maybe. But we've already had a massive run. It's already up 100% for the year. I know that doesn't mean anything considering it was way up here, but the reality is this low to this high, that's a great return. If we're going to get any type of contraction or we struggle to get above that 200 EMA, I think there's certainly dips that could happen, especially with the broader market sell-off. So I am actively rolling Tesla. I've got my break even down to 180. I've got a 192.50 call this week. That I might try to roll one more time, but I know that my profit this week is going to be around $8,000. I don't mind taking profit unless it's really in my favor to roll this one more time. And maybe I do like an in the money, excuse me, in the money covered call. Lower it by another $3, $4, $5. See if I can increase this profit potential over 600 shares. Same thing on Uber. those are some positions I'm having some pretty big profit potential on. So I'm going to try to ride those out. But Tesla, look, I mean, if the broader market goes up, Tesla certainly has room to break above the 200 EMA. The broader market goes down, Tesla is highly volatile. So it is a bit of a toss up and depends on the risk. But would I want to own shares? Yes. But if I want to own shares of Tesla, I want to drill that cost down as low as I possibly can. There's still lots and lots of room down here around $100, and I'd say, okay, get long Tesla at $100. But anyway, I'm probably going to get it called away this week. I'll evaluate. Depends on where we finish. So keep in mind, this is the end of the month. So tomorrow is end of February. We'll kick off with a busy week. I think non-farm payroll is non-farm payroll this week. I don't think it probably is this week, Friday. It's not. So March 3rd, no March. I was going to say if we had a non-farm announcement, I would do a bonus session, but we'll push that to the following week on the 10th for U.S. non-farm. So it looks like we have a pretty light calendar. I'm looking at the high impact news. We have BOJ, we have CAD GDP, consumer confidence for the U.S., CPI for the Aussie. That'll be a big one to watch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night. Bank of England speaking ISM numbers, the PMI numbers out of the U.S. at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Thursday, RBNZ, they just raised rates by 50 basis points, I believe. And then the ISM PMI again on Friday. So we have 2 PMI numbers. Yep. Interesting. That's weird. So we have a March 1st and a March 3rd ISM PMI for the U.S. If we're below 50, that's kind of recessionary signs. I mean, it's totally different forecast. 47.9. I don't even know what the difference is. Same on the calendar, but this is not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. So business as usual. Okay, dollar Swiss I like long. If you've been talking to me for the last year, I've been long on dollar Swiss. So all I'm looking for is a dip is fine. I'm buying more. I had some stacked buy trades. Those haven't been filled yet. Any dips and pullbacks, I'm going to look to add a couple more positions. So I'll probably take this entire area right here and, look at some even pullbacks. Look at a 38, look at a 50, look at 100%, and just add on some levels. That'd be trade 1, trade 2, trade 3. I'm still willing to add to it down here. But I think what we probably see is we've broken this high. We've broken this falling wedge. Break out here, pull back, make a higher low, push up towards this yearly pivot, try to find this bigger pocket in here for dollar strength, and that's my profit on dollar Swiss. So I will stay long on dollar Swiss. Okay. Oh, one's manufacturing, one's service. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. I'm going to switch gears, go into equities on demand to the trading room. But thanks for being with me today, and I'll see you on Friday at 9:30 for a weekly recap on the Pulver Report. If you do me a favor, it's a quiet crowd today, and not sure everyone got the memo, but whatever. If you'd be so kind, hit that thumbs up button for me, and we'll get a lot of people watching the video, I guess. Okay. See you soon. Thanks. Bye.